Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we will be learning file handling in C++. But today we will be starting with a magic trick. On your screen you could see that there's a file in a folder, and there's only one file, and it's called fhandling.cpp. It's a small C++ program. It only has a few lines. We're gonna show you that program. We're gonna run it and come back to this folder, see what happens. This is the file, the exact same file. As you could see, fhandling.cpp right there. So I'm gonna run it and come back to the folder. So let's run it. Nothing showed up here. But now, when you go to the folder, there are 3 more files added. So these two files, they're common for every program: the .exe, which is an executable file, and the .o, which is an object file. But what's new is this. These are common, but what's new is this .txt file, a text file. Again, for every program, there will be these three files, but this one is a new file. It's not common for all programs. And this is the file that I've created through my program. Let's open it and see what's inside. It says my first file created. Let me go back to my program. Let's see if we can find this line in my program. As you can see, my first file created is already in my program. What if I add another line? This is gonna print that out in my file too. So let's check it out. I'm just gonna add this new line tested. Okay, let's run it. But before I run it, I have to close the file. Boom. Okay, now let's run it and see what happens. Nothing happened here. And once we go to our folder, open the txt file. Now you could see new line tested is in that folder. I mean file. So these files are created through my these lines are made through my program. But how am I doing this? It's called file handling in C++. Before I start explaining my code, let me give you a big picture of it. So file handling comes with a package called fstream. These are further divided into two other packages, which are called offstream and ifstream. So in fstream, you could both read and write. You could both read and write a file. And in offstream, you can only write in a file. In ifstream, you can only read a file. How can we use these packages? Let's go to the code back again. Okay, so first things first, we have to include a file called fstream. If you don't know what include is, it's like the extra powers that we could gain. And if you still don't understand, watch my first videos. After including fstream, now our program has the capability to handle files. I'm creating an object of offstream because my intention is to write inside the file. But if I wanted to read, my best choice would have been ifstream. So once we get the object, we could use its capabilities by putting a dot operator, and in this case, mf.open will open the file, mf.close will close the file. And this file will be opened for only writing purposes. The first quotation that you'll see will be your file name. If the file doesn't exist, it will just create a new file in that name. If it's already there, it will just open it. The next part, I'll explain in a bit. These are the different modes that we could use. But for now, let's go to the next line. Just like coutts, when we use angle brackets, whatever was in front will get printed on the screen. But now with our object, it will be printed in the file. That's it. The more lines you put, the more lines will go in the file. And all the escape sequence characters will be the same. Like in this case, /n will send it to the new line. If I remove the /n, it will be printed on one line. Every time we're doing an operation with the file, we have to close it at the end. Don't forget. This is how we write in a file. We'll also see how to read from a file. But before that, we'll see what these modes are. So these vertical lines are called pipes. You could separate a mode using a pipe that you can put as many modes as you want. Actually, there's like a total of 5 or 6 modes. So not as many, but like multiple. The first one is telling if this file is an input or output. If I change this to in, this will basically be reading from the file. In the second mode, there are 3 different parts: attenuate, truncate, or append. Attenuate will add a line at the end but bring the cursor to the beginning. When we append, it will keep adding lines at the end and the cursor will be at the end. And this is how you do it, APP, just like an app. And the last one is truncate. And truncate will it will destroy the whole file and start from the beginning. The last part is opening a file in binary mode. It's not necessary for you to open a file in binary mode, but sometimes when you're making a big program, a big data structure program using big files, there are some situations where some characters are not recognized by some applications. Like in my old videos of tic-tac-toe, we were trying to draw special lines with special characters, but the code blocks was not recognizing them. There are so many stuff like that, like encoding techniques that are not recognized everywhere. So back in the days, what programmers used to do to prevent this confusion is they'll convert it into binary, convert the file into binary, and then store it. And when they wanted to read it, they'll convert it back and then read it. Nowadays, we don't use C++ for our data types, databases, and techniques, so don't worry too much about the binary. Now let's go to the last part of the video to read a file. So first, now we change the function from reading off stream from writing to reading if stream. And I'm gonna change the mode to in from out. And we'll use this function getLine and go to this object and get the first line, which is also a string. And we're going to print that line out. So in short, what this program is doing is opening this file in a reading mode, getting the first line and giving it to us to print. So let's check it out. As you can see, my first line created, which is also in this file, my first line created the first line. So if we want to do the second line, we have to get another line. We just end all this because we want it on different lines. Copy this whole thing. Do you have this? Paste this. Now run it. Yeah, okay. And that. Now let's run it and see what happens. As you can see, it says my first line created, and it also says new line tested, which is also in the file, which is the second line. You could put the statement in a loop so you don't have to be keeping. You don't have to keep repeating it again and again. So there's a good way. Yeah, there's a good way if you have like countless number of lines and you don't want to count them all and print it that many times. There's a good way that you could use a while loop, a while loop, to get all the lines automatically, no matter how big they are. So let me show you how it works. Let me just write like 2 more other lines. Actually, 3 more other lines. Okay, 4. Okay, now let's close this file. Close it. And come here. As you can see, my while loop. It says while loop, and it will just say the exact same thing that it says without the while loop, but the cout goes inside the body. It will keep getting new lines as it can, and keep displaying them. So let's check this new thing out. As you can see, it printed all my lines, and it's only one statement. I forgot to tell you about this. The file is putting it in the string for us to print out. Yeah, that's. So there's a few more stuff about filing, which is seekg, seekp, and telg, but we'll learn those as we need them. That was all for this video. This is your host, Bazif. Catch you guys next time, and bye.